Nike just dropped a fortune on a Caitlin Clark campaign starring Travis Kelce, Kelsey Mitchell, and Travis Scott, all playfully questioning her range. But buried in that From Anywhere commercial is a secret that signals something monumental for Clark's future. The 8-year, $28 million deal everyone assumed was the peak. That was only the opening act. What's set to unfold in 2026 will make every kid dreaming of basketball believe they can truly make it from anywhere, just like Caitlin. And Caitlin's massive reveal after the ad aired, it literally shattered the internet.
Hey, Caitlin! Can you make it through there? Hey, Caitlin, how about the view? Come on, guys.
You've seen the Nike commercial, but here's what most people completely overlooked about Clark's journey. That Iowa driveway wasn't just a practice spot. It was the launch pad where Caitlin laid the foundation that made Nike executives realize they weren't just signing a basketball player, they were signing a movement. Let's linger on that driveway for a moment. While other kids were glued to video games indoors, Caitlin was braving the Iowa cold, shooting hoops until her fingers went numb. Her dad recalls her pleading to tear up more grass and pour concrete just to complete a full three-point line. This wasn't a casual weekend project. It was a father seeing his daughter's obsession and choosing to nurture it.
So I think those were two of my biggest goals. And then obviously college basketball has come true, and then hopefully the WNBA here very shortly. But I think as a young girl, I was super competitive, and my parents always knew that, and I was always somebody that was driven by goals, and I think that's kind of remained the same.
Most coaches back then looked at Caitlin and saw everything she wasn't. Too small for a forward, too slow for elite guard play, not athletic enough for the highest levels of basketball. Doubt trailed her like a shadow everywhere she went. But here's the twist. Every time someone told her she couldn't compete at the next level, Caitlin returned to that driveway and started shooting from even farther out. Those early morning sessions became something coaches had never witnessed. While her high school teammates focused on layups and free throws, Caitlin was draining shots from the parking lot during practice, not once or twice for show, but over and over again. Her teammates watched, stunned, as she hit shot after shot from distances that seemed impossible for someone her size and age. When college scouts finally saw her play, they were floored. She was taking shots from parts of the court most players wouldn't even dream of. And she wasn't just tossing them up, she was sinking them at a percentage that defied all logic. Coaches began calling each other. Word spread fast about this Iowa kid who could score from anywhere.
You know, there really hasn't been a down period for me to kind of really catch my breath, but at the same time, I feel really grateful for that too. And like I said to everybody, I feel like I'm in really good basketball shape. There's no getting back in shape for myself. I've been playing basketball. There's been no really off period. And for me, I feel like that's a really good thing. You just keep the momentum rolling and keep being myself, keep learning.
What made those driveway sessions legendary wasn't just the sheer distance. Caitlin built a mental game that set her apart from everyone else. When other kids missed, they moved closer to the basket. When Caitlin missed, she stepped back even farther. Every coach's rejection became fuel. Every scout's doubt turned into motivation to prove them wrong from an even more impossible spot. This mindset became her hallmark. The harder the shot, the hungrier she was to make it. Her high school coach began crafting plays around her insane range because defenders simply couldn't stop someone who could score from 35 feet out. Women's basketball had to adapt just to keep up with what Caitlin was doing. By the time she reached Iowa, that driveway grind had become legendary. She wasn't just hitting shots from the logo, she was nailing them while defenders clung to her. What began as a kid proving herself had transformed into a weapon that rewrote the way the game was played.
Nobody ever said you're going to have a perfect record, and a lot of the losses in my career have really fueled me to be who I am today, whether it was getting upset my sophomore year in the round of 32 to Creighton, like probably one of the worst losses in my entire basketball career. But
Nike executives followed her college career and saw something extraordinary. They weren't just watching another talented shooter. They were witnessing someone who had completely redefined what was possible on a basketball court. The From Anywhere campaign wasn't just marketing. It was the literal truth of what Caitlin had been doing since she was a kid in Iowa. That little girl practicing alone in her driveway was unknowingly laying the groundwork for a moment that would forever change women's basketball. Every impossible shot she made was building towards something far bigger than personal glory. She was creating a blueprint to inspire an entire generation of young players to believe they could score from anywhere too. Nike recognized something rare. Someone who had transformed doubt into drive, criticism into confidence, and impossibility into inevitability. The foundation was forged in that Iowa driveway, but the real triumph was still on the horizon.
Hey, Caleb, I'm pretty good basketball player, but make it from there. Jason, show how you make it rain from downtown.
Get it from here, Caitlin. Gotta make your free throws.
Right here. But you can't do that, can you?
Anyone else?
The Nike commercial shows celebrities questioning Clark's range, but that's exactly the doubt she's faced her entire career. Watching Travis Scott, the Kelsey brothers, and Michael Che challenge her to impossible shots is like seeing the same skepticism that shadowed Caitlin at every stage of basketball. Nike didn't invent this story, they simply captured what Caitlin has been proving wrong since high school. Every step up the ladder came with louder critics. High school coaches said her style wouldn't translate to college. College analysts doubted she could sustain that range against Division I defenses. WNBA experts insisted professional defenders would shut down her deep shooting completely. The pattern never changed. Each new level brought the same refrain. Wait until the defense is faster. Wait until the game speeds up. Wait until she faces real athletes. Yet Caitlin kept defying expectations with performances that seemed to break basketball logic. Those Iowa games where she dropped 40 points from the parking lot weren't flukes. They were direct answers to everyone who said it couldn't be done. The Michigan State game her senior year is unforgettable. Commentators spent the first half insisting the Spartans would force her into tough shots. Caitlin answered by sinking 7 three-pointers, including 3 from beyond 35 feet. She wasn't just scoring, she was sending a message to everyone who doubted her range at the highest level. Nike grasped something essential about Caitlin's mindset. Doubt wasn't a weakness. It was fuel. Every time someone said she couldn't make a shot from a certain distance, she went out and made it look effortless. The commercial captures this perfectly. Each celebrity questions her, and she responds by nailing shots that seem impossible. But Nike's brilliance runs deeper. They know Caitlin doesn't just face criticism, she hunts the hardest shots to prove a point. When defenders left her space at the three-point line, she shot from the logo. When they pressed her there, she launched from half court. Every adjustment by opponents became motivation to push her range even further.
Nike's finally going all in on Caitlin Clark, and it happens with a Christmas Day commercial drop. Really a fantastic ad all around, and speaks to the appeal of Clark, and speaks to, I think, the efforts that are going to be put into her from a marketing standpoint, not to mention the importance of 2026, the season for her and the season for the WNBA, when you dial yourself back a second or pull yourself back from the immediacy of the ad and realize, the importance of that season taking place.
This mentality carried straight into her WNBA rookie season. The criticism was louder than ever. Veteran players questioned whether her college dominance would translate. Media members predicted struggles against professional defenses. Some fans doubted the hype. Caitlin responded by generating $36 million in economic impact for Indianapolis, while shattering 62 records along the way. She accounted for nearly 27% of the league's total economic impact in the 2024 season. The numbers tell the story. When Caitlin played, viewership soared. When she was sidelined, ratings dipped. The league realized that having a player who could score from anywhere wasn't just thrilling, it was economically transformative. Her ability to turn impossible shots into inevitable results created a blueprint for the future of women's basketball. Nike's commercial captures this perfectly. By centering doubt, they position Caitlin's superpower as turning skeptics into believers. Every time someone questions her range, she expands what's possible on the court. The celebrities in the ad aren't merely challenging her, they represent every person who ever said she couldn't do it.
The song choice is great to me. It's a song by Peaches called Boys Wanna Be Her. And, that sums up everything about Caitlin Clark in there. The lyrics are, I had to mute it a little bit so I don't get hit with the copyright. But girls wanna be her, boys wanna be her. And that's kind of the emphasis of what I've gotten to a lot in the midst of these discussions is that appeal that goes broad, and the guys that came over to watch Caitlin Clark play in the WNBA, to follow the Indiana Fever, NBA fans, men's college basketball fans, sports fans in general. There was something about her game.
This resilience became the foundation for something far bigger than individual success. Nike didn't sign just a basketball player who can sink long shots. They signed someone who turns the impossible into inevitable, criticism into confidence, and doubt into determination. Her mindset goes beyond personal accolades, pointing to a future where young players see entirely new possibilities for what they can achieve. And here's the announcement everyone's been waiting for. Caitlin Clark's signature Nike shoe drops in spring 2026. But this isn't just another athlete endorsement. This is something unprecedented in women's basketball. The timing is perfect. Caitlin will be fully healthy and dominating the WNBA. The league continues to grow each season. Women's basketball viewership keeps smashing records. Nike CEO Elliott Hill emphasized that every detail, from her logo to the product, has to reflect Caitlin's vision. They're not rushing. They're creating something extraordinary.
And her signature shoe also on the way. That was part of this deal as well. Nick DePaula, who's an expert on all that, wrote this on X as well. Caitlin Clark's anticipated Nike signature shoe is expected to launch in spring 2026. And there's a quote from Caitlin: Nike's signature roster features all-time greats, and I am incredibly proud to join some of the best athletes in the world. I'm excited to share a first look at what we've created together.
Most signature shoes follow the same script. Sign a star athlete, roll out flashy marketing, focus on individual branding, and maximize profits. Caitlin's approach flips that model entirely. She's using this platform to expand opportunities for girls' basketball across the globe. Her commitment goes far beyond personal gain. Nike and Caitlin are making sure the shoe represents accessibility, not just elite performance. She wants more and more opportunities for young girls in the sport, believing her visibility can inspire them to realize they can excel. The shoe becomes a symbol of inspiration, not just another product. Her launch plans tie directly into grassroots basketball programs. The signature line will support international growth, with China specifically highlighted as a destination where she hopes to motivate young athletes. The From Anywhere campaign already nods to this global impact, with Nike designing the strategy to reach fans worldwide.
Not just the logo shots from anywhere and stuff like that, but the speed she plays with, the way she passes, that energy, that vibe, that was able to bring a bunch of dudes into the women's game. And then obviously she could inspire young girls to want to grow up and be her as well. But it's been a long time coming.
Caitlin's approach puts community impact above personal gain. She's positioning the shoe as a symbol of accessibility and engagement, aiming to lift the entire sport alongside her rather than just build her own brand. This philosophy shows in how she treats her teammates. Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, Kelsey Mitchell. Caitlin highlights their contributions and amplifies their profiles, using her platform to shine a light on players who deserve more recognition. The signature shoe launch will follow the same approach, lifting others as she rises. Industry insiders like Nick DePaola predict the shoe could generate 9-figure revenue for Nike and potentially become a top 5 signature franchise across basketball. But Caitlin sees those numbers as a chance for impact, not just profit. The bigger the revenue, the more resources to grow girls basketball internationally.
One of them ones that's going to set the market on fire and really help Nike's stock, I believe. And whatever the reason for the delay, some of it could just be the production and how long it takes to put all these things together, put a plan like this in place, put a rollout in place. There was obviously the cynical view, and I don't know if there's no truth to it or whatever, but the, not wanting to jump the line.
Nike has already launched her signature apparel collection, featuring hoodies and sweatpants with her CC logo, available in adult and children's sizes on Nike's website and at sports retailers nationwide. This year's From Anywhere commercial acted as a preview for what's coming in 2026. Caitlin wants young girls around the world to see her line and believe they can achieve their basketball dreams. She's leveraging her influence to create pathways that didn't exist before. When kids wear her shoes, they aren't just putting on athletic gear. They're joining a movement that says you can make it from anywhere. The economics of women's basketball are poised for a major shift. Caitlin accounted for nearly 27% of the WNBA's total economic impact in 2024 while playing just 13 games due to injury. Her signature shoe launch will amplify that economic power and channel it toward growing the sport globally.
And I think what it really means is, number one, Nike is going all in on Caitlin Clark after a while, after a little bit of a dormant period. Number two, 2026 is going to be just absolutely massive for her from a marketing standpoint because of that injury. And, because there's going to be such a thirst and hunger to see her play. I mean, I saw it with the Team USA videos, just seeing her back on the court.
The 2026 launch marks Caitlin reaching the pinnacle of her sport and using that platform to create opportunities for the next generation. Young players will see entirely new possibilities in women's basketball. Clark's journey from that Iowa driveway to a signature Nike shoe proves that From Anywhere isn't just a slogan. It's a promise to every young athlete watching. That kid shooting alone in the cold built a blueprint for turning doubt into determination. Her story proves you can truly make it from anywhere if you keep shooting when everyone says you can't. The 2026 season won't just signal Clark's return to full strength. It will kick off a new era where women's basketball players can build global brands on par with what we've only seen in men's sports. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.